That's right. That'll work. Anything like that'll work. Yes. Can you introduce them?
Tommy Bookman and Rick Scott.
Yeah. All right. I can do a poem for you called Summer of Love, Summer of Love. I wrote this last year, and people said, if you can remember the summer of love, if you can remember the 60s, you weren't in them. So, this is my take on that. Summer of love, summer of love. I do not remember the summer of love, but I do remember posters for peace, love, harmony, music, and the mystic who lived down the hallway and talked through the walls. I do not remember religion, but I remember living outside the Judeo-Christian tradition and taking the meditation highway east and the yoga highway west and saffron chanting beads and moths in Bulgar and monks on fire and Maoists in dung paddies and Red Guard marching and People's Park and spindles of free speech tape and the Delaware Water Gap at the fulcrum of the universe and the John Hancock Tower, a myriad of morning butterflies, and Coit Tower, pointing like a cowboy at the tie-dye moon. And Washington Square, and the Lovin' Spoonful, and a tower of generations straddling high-tension wires from the Cuyahoga River burning to Watts, and the faces of the children walking past snarling dogs and white women snarling in Little Rock, Arkansas and Tuscaloosa, and John Coltrane being rushed to the emergency room, and all the jazz musicians dying in heroin mourning, and Big Brother with his drumstick, and Janice with her bottle, and Southern Comfort, and cardigans, and bell-bottoms, and spiked bananas, and a few thousand acres of mud, and tent pegs, and a sky dull as plasterboard, and hashish hangover. I do not remember the electric banana, but I remember electric meter, and day glow, and strobe light, and Coke bottle blackout, and freedom riders, and an explosion of flowers, and living in a chicken coop, and making love in the fallouts, and covering my tracks in the snow, and crawling through midnight, and falling through a spinning hole in the earth, and coming out the other side, a black man in a white rabbit world. And standing in front of a water cannon, scared to death, and I remember the catapult of hours and the sweet taste of earth like a woman's hand inside my mouth, and a newspaper nation spinning and spinning with sexism and racism and love of money and vice and the opiate of fame and conformity. Too good to last, too good to last. Everyone I knew carrying a hoe or a gun, and the war which he didn't end, but it ended, and the peace that couldn't hold, and the hands that could not mend. I do not remember psychedelic drugs, but I remember the one expanding consciousness, and I do remember being young, reckless, irreversible, always right, silly, headstrong, hypocritical, stoned, lost, foolish, ecstatic, broke, hungry, and I remember hamburgers and Ashberry. I remember clothes in charismatic colors, and a guru in a mink coat, and trips across the expandable universe, a night of terror at the drug end of a room, college dorms burning, barricades, high school boys who went away to war and never